Variety.tv.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Eastern Regionals. We're in the ladies' pools matches now. We've got Factory Fire playing against Greater Western Sydney. I'm joined in the commentary box by Sam Iyer. Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Yep.
Yep. So thanks for joining us, Sam, and you're going to help us out here. Cover the last couple of games of the day. A little bit of a bobble, that's all right. And there's a disc in the end zone. Factory Fire getting a block. And they've got an opportunity here on offense early. Now, Sam, you're going to have to help me with the names and
Yeah, we got a block by Amanda Parker, so GWS gets it back.
Yep.
For a quick score by number 8.
Number 8. Good on you, number 8. Well played. So off early. GWS, a little bit of a hiccup on offense, but turns out that they get the disc back and they do score the point there. The first one in this game.
Let's just get something on there.
So lunch is finished, Sam, and Factory on the end zone line is so close to scoring here. Middle of the field, open side throw, it forces the turf. Sam, tell me a little bit about what we could see out of this Factory Fire team today.
So this is Factory's second team, and after a couple of seasons, they've decided to get a coach to the second team. So that's Huddy, who plays for Fishwick, and his main focus is while there's quite a few experienced players, they're also picking up some more development players as well. They've got a few juniors players on the team, including their vice captain Miriam and spirit captain Rachel Joyce.
Wonderful. So GWS working it down the field. Blair Cartman airing it out to start the move. It's unfortunately going to slide sideways. So Factory Fire will get this one back. We were talking earlier today that Factory Fire and the other factory, Flare. It's an interesting situation because Factory kind of has the depth that the second, inverted commas, and the third, inverted commas, team aren't really second and third. They're very even in their abilities.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of their aim, to mix both experienced players that weren't going to be in the main factory team and more of their development players.
Great idea. The XY split was, that was the original idea. And that's a throw into space. Steve's not going to get there. So Beck Cartman near sideline is going to go flat backhand. Heads up play by the defender. And you'll have to help me with names.
And we'll see Emma Beresford is the captain, number 99 with the disc now. So she'll have a lot of disc play throughout the game.
Yeah, another turnover. Just looking for position on the disc. GWS electing to go short now.
And GWS is in their second season this year as well.
I was told that there's quite a few very, very good players
On GWS.
Yep, they've got Beck Carmen, who is a Mondays player, Hannah Monty, who's also a Firetails. Holly just finished with in the backwards cap in the back, just finished playing for Stingrays in Perth in January. So they've got a very strong basis.
I believe there's a young lass out there that for GWS that scored MVP last year.
Yes, Amanda Parker, I think.
Ooh, there's a deep throw. It's pretty good. It's going to hit the receiver.
Oh, unlucky. Lovely.
Falls to the ground. That throw had some venom on it. It's GWS again, another opportunity for them. They go again with short passes. Beck Cartman comes open side, covered well by Beresfield. Nice around break. It's into the end zone, but it sits up. Does get ripped down. GWS get a score. And that's 2-0 early. Sam, what are you seeing early out of these teams?
I think GWS are really trying to use all their players, work it up in the open side mainly. They've got quite a strong handlers as well, so they're obviously got the throws to get it all the way, whereas Factory are definitely looking for that big gain early on to make up the ground.
Okay, so we're going to see a little bit more of the Factory Fire offense. They'll be receiving the pull shortly. Once GWS sort out their defensive scheme, what they want to run and how they want to attack their opposition in this next point. So GWS, they'll be looking for a good result here at Regionals to get a good seed.
Yeah, they will. They came 4th last year. They lost to the top Factory team in the bronze medal playoffs, so they're definitely aiming, if possible, to get into the semis again. Repeat from the inaugural season as well.
Do you know much about the formation of GWS and where it sprung from and why it was formed?
I think a lot of it is Greater Western Sydney. Most of these players, if they were playing at a high level, they were playing for Rogue, which in Sydney at travel time, I think it was almost 2 hours. I think Monty was travelling to get to training. And with such a strong team that they have, they thought, why not just start a team out west as well?
Yeah, travel time in Sydney is god awful.
Yeah. And majority.
You're a Sydney sider?
Yeah, originally.
We're a Sydney sider, so you know all about it. I'm of course from Newcastle, and Sydney just adds 2 hours.
And
if there was a highway direct from Newcastle to Canberra, it would take you 3 hours. Because Sydney's in the way, it takes you about 6. Anyway, a bit of a zone from GWS. This is the second time we've seen the zone.
Yep. And we'll see number 9, Ariel, with the disc now. She's one of their stronger players as well.
Yeah, she's seeing a lot of it here. Open side, through the cup, down they go. Factory Fire scoring a point. Very nice zone offense from them, finding the hole in the zone.
Exactly.
So you yourself, you said that you chose not to play Factory this year, which means that Factory's loss is our gain here today. Tell us a little bit about the Factory culture and how things are going inside.
I think Factory had a really good season last year, and they're building on that momentum. So usually they only have 2 teams. Their top team obviously have a coach, and their second team kind of go to Div 2 with a few experienced players to lead them. But this year they had so many people try out that they've got 3 teams going. As you said, the A team and then the XY team teams. And I think they're looking to build on that, as Canberra have more than 500 players in their league teams. So just want to build on that, try and get more. They want to get gender equality, get leagues to have 50-50%.
Yeah,
male or
phenomenal
female.
numbers. To see that kind of recruitment is excellent because with more numbers, you know, your top 1% of players become that much better
Exactly.
as a result.
And Kirsten Ayer, who is one of the main team members on Factory, she's also started the inaugural Women's League last year. So that was just before the women's season started. So
Brilliant.
that, I think, a lot of the people playing on Factory Fire today may have started playing women's properly
Yep.
during that league.
And Kirsten Ayer is, of course, the tournament director here this weekend. From what we've seen, she's done a very, very good job. There's an alarming lack of golf carts. We might need to put a word in with her. We had to lug our heavy equipment across the fields, but that's just part and parcel of what we do here at Ulti TV, covering Australia's Ultimate and also internationally as well. GWS. Nice throw to gain meters. Inside out, and it's not going to sit, unfortunately. Look like Beck Cartman unable to bring that one in.
Tried to toe the line.
Beck Cartman really hasn't lost a step, has she? She's still as speedy as ever.
Yep. And now that there are a lot of strong players on GWS, she doesn't have to take up the role of being a handler. She can go run deep and utilise her
Phenomenal speed.
We've got Heather Bozza with the disc.
Yeah, very nice throw from Heather. Beck Cartman reads it the best. And GWS on the sideline. Nice throw. GWS again, that's Courtney with the disc. Originally from Newcastle, puts it up. It's going to go over the defender for the score. And GWS, they score their 3rd point today. So you've played internationally as well for Australia, Sam. You were a representative several times for us.
Yes, I was. I went to 2015, I played for the Stingrays in London, and also 2012 and played for Southern Terror in Dublin.
2-time Australian representative. That's phenomenal stuff. The Stingrays being the under-24 mixed team?
Women's team.
Women's team. I can't get the name straight, I'm afraid.
Yep. And
So how did they do? How did the
we
Stingrays
came
do?
4th in 2015, but majority of those players came back last year, and under Mish Phillips, they got bronze in January. So I think a lot of the returning players, we really got back the bronze because we felt that our 3rd, 4th playoff at 2015 was...
You were robbed.
We were robbed.
We was robbed, Sam says.
Unfortunately.
We was robbed. So through that experience, in the World's campaigns, we're also seeing the effect of the young players from Factory, GWS as well. What do you think the biggest thing is that playing at a World's level brings to a person's game?
I think if you're comparing it to League, or which most people start off playing, it's the experience that you get playing against high-level players. So you don't get that kind of exposure on a regular basis playing in Australia. You have your national seasons, but apart from that, it's quite hard to get that level of experience playing against teams like America and Canada.
See, Factory Fire a little bit caught with the disc here. Heather Bozza unfortunately spending that one before she'd earned it. And GWS get the turn. They're down the stretch now, and that one just goes through hands, falls to the turf. Factory Fire are going to get it back. They have an opportunity again to march this down the field. The breeze has picked up a little bit. It's blowing from the bottom left-hand corner of your screen to probably the top right-hand corner. Bit of a cross breeze. Very static from Factory Fire. They try and get the reset. It floats a little bit. Nice grab by the receiver. No real movement on the dump. She goes up the line again, but it's very clogged by a receiver. High stall count. Going to air it out. A very nice block. Good bid as well on that one. Sam, what are you seeing with what's wrong with this Factory Fire offense at the moment?
I think they're unable to find the easy opens. GWS's defense is quite tight when they're playing man-on. And they're seeing that they're looking for their dump quite a lot and preparing themselves for that dump cut quite quickly.
So GWS is going to space the field out. Big sideways movement. There's a hark. It's quite flat. That's Monty. Can't get there. So Factory Fire are going to get this one back. Another opportunity at offense. So Sam, if you were the coach of the Factory Fire team, how would you get them to create that separation that they need?
I think understanding where the open spaces are, we can see that.
Yeah, they're playing a long way under, aren't they?
Yeah,
the GWS girls, that is.
They are.
All
They're
pressure.
anticipating that, but a nice, easy break.
Okay. Unfortunately, Heather Bosler can't get there. And there's a throw into open space. It's going to die and fall out of the sky. Factory Fire again get it back.
And they'll reset here.
They're showing a vertical stack at the moment. And they've really struggled to show that underlook.
We're not seeing very many strong cuts come out of the stack at the moment. I think they're maybe hesitating a little bit.
Yeah, and the GWS girls are just playing a long way under, you know, really forcing the receiver to make the run past. We're going to see a deep huck to Bozza. It's covered well. Contest, Bozza brings it down. Great position under the disc. Identifying where she needed to stand on that one to make an easy catch for herself. She's going to go around, outside in. Factory Fire, good looking point there.
They get another one on the board. And so number 57, Rachel Joyce, just scored it. She is going to Waterloo in Canada this year for the juniors with Tara. She's Factory Fire Spirit Captain as well.
Spirit Captain. What does a Spirit Captain do in the modern game?
They're just trying to promote the spirit of Ultimate Frisbee and making sure that if there's any issues on field, issues between the teams, that they're able to sort it out.
See again the Bozza catch. Just read it the best. Defender got lost a little bit underneath it. And a nice throw to score as well. Outside in to the fat side.
Two Factory players there waiting as well.
Drops in their hands. So we're going to see a timeout. We'll take a quick break, grab a drink of water, and we'll be back with some more action here at Eastern Regionals. The Factory Fire team playing Greater Western Sydney. Timeout has been run and done. I've got my microphone backwards. That's not ideal. Here's a ball. It's going to bounce and roll a little bit. During the timeout, we were talking that Hannah Monty has a new halftime signal.
Yes, she does. We'll look out for it, but she thinks there should be a halftime call.
Okay.
Wow.
Throw to space. That's Courtney tracking that one down. Beck Cartman.
That was a very beautiful flow down the field.
Courtney is ex-Newcastle. She started playing when I was president of the uni club up there. She came out one night and she remains one of the most beastly athletes I have ever seen. She was a sprinter. Sprinter, or was it hurdler? She may have even been a high jumper. She did athletics.
She had the athletic skill.
Yeah, and you see a little bit of that explosion there, just tracking that disc down. Remember one night, right, we were playing, we were just throwing around a bit, and this disc went up in the air, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got this, and Courtney was there as well, and next minute I get smashed in the side of the head, and like, it felt like I'd been hit by a truck. It was Courtney's hip as she came through to grab this disc. She completely destroyed me.
Usually it's role reversal. The man is doing that against
I wasn't even mad because it was such a great grab, and like I was dazed for a couple of moments afterwards. Like, what just happened? You know, I was setting myself to jump, and there goes Courtney. She come flying through and just about took my head off. So that I think speaks volumes for what kind of athlete she is, physical talent she was gifted with. And for the rest of us mere mortals, we can merely look on and wish we were that good. The Factory Fire going to let this one bounce and roll.
That was a great pull by Holly.
Yeah, very, very strong pull. It's deep, and GWS are set up in their zone. They're doing a very, very good job forcing Factory Fire to throw into this breeze, but Factory Fire, they're getting away with it a little bit. They've generated a few cuts downfield, but that unfortunately spanners out of their hands. And immediately, Beck Cartman. A little bit squally, the breeze, Sam.
It's picking up slowly now.
Making things interesting. Sorting the girls out from the ladies. Factory Fire, oh dear. That's the second one in a row. That's not great.
Unlucky drop by Shoko again.
Looks like that was called not in. So GWS maintain possession on the end zone line. And they could find themselves up a very long way in this game. Throw to the open side. It's too low. Unfortunately, that one's going to fall to the ground. Throw to the right side of the field, though, Sam. To the right kind of space there.
Yeah, that was the exact look that you want. It just, the execution just wasn't there.
Throw too low in the end. And GWS work it down that far sideline. Give-go action with Dominator. And that's a score. That's GWS in the end zone again. That's them making it 5-2 in this game.
Yeah, I think GWS really want to have a strong game, fix up all any issues they may have.
So I've just been given the power to run ads, subtract the score. We've got all the iPads working here. All I need is a Telestrator and Gucci. It's on the Christmas wish list. Something to draw on. Arrows and whatnot. If you were the coach of GWS at the moment, Sam, what would you be telling your players?
I think they're doing really well on both defense and offense. I think they just need to continue staying strong on defense because they're really shutting out Factory Fire from making more than one pass, really. They're having a bit of trouble stringing together more than one or two passes. So they're doing well on that. It's just now calming it down a bit when they're on offense to get a bit more cleaner.
So this breeze is it's fairly consistent at the moment. See it ruffling the jerseys of the players out there.
And GWS are really trying to get that top seed out of Eastern Regionals if possible, so they really want to try and fix up any issues they may have before tomorrow's key power pool games and playoffs.
Oh, Bozza can't hit the receiver. Just throwing inside too far there. And now GWS with the opportunity. Halfway down the field. Nice grab up high. Gonna reset the disc. That's a laser. Bounces off hands. The Boz is going to pick this disc up. And there's not really anything out of the stack. She breaks inside with a great throw and then gets the movement back. Power position, great looking huck.
Throw.
And it's too far. Too many wheat bix on that one.
I think Factory Fire is stacking a bit deeper than necessary, so it's finding it a bit hard to find any space in that open side.
And they're still struggling to generate those cuts like you mentioned earlier, Sam.
Exactly.
So what can they do really to start to break down this GWS defense? What can they do?
I think they need to just bring in the stack closer, maybe harder cuts both sides, just like what Heather managed to do with the inside break.
So he's caught him with the disc. She's going to throw a very nice looking flick, far side of the field. More continuation out that side. Big huck going deep. It's going to sit up beautifully. Good touch on that throw.
Beautiful grab.
What a catch. 6-2. That is some really, really nice ultimate from GWS. They're doing it right here. We'll go to a quick break here. I want to see if my little controls work. And we'll be back very shortly. I love it when things just work. Come back to the replay.
That was a beautiful throw by Holly. And she had all the space to just run onto that.
We've seen some really, really nice throws into the space. Using space well for your throws.
And a lot of the players on GWS also have that experience at both nationals and at an international level to understand where they can create that space to get those beautiful throws off.
So another good looking pull, but this one's going to end up out of bounds by the looks. So it'll be a brick for Factory Fire. I can't remember if we talked about it earlier. Factory Fire, are they looking to go to Div 1 or Div 2 this year?
They're looking to go to Div 2. Hopefully make a really good season out of playing at Div 2. I don't know if they had that many players last year when they went. So, and there's also a lot more experience on this team as well.
Okay. Factory Fire now working against the GWS man look. Oh, that bounces off the collarbone of the receiver. And GWS downwind and on the edge of the red zone. And there we go. It's going down the field. All falls through the hands of the receiver. Too much bunny on that one.
Seems like catching the disc is a bit harder at the moment.
You've played at the top level. Does it get harder as the day goes on and you're playing at a high level?
I definitely think so, but I think they've been training so much since most teams since November that by now this is just another training session still. It'll be tomorrow morning where you can identify the more experienced teams compared to the newer players.
Yeah, so we see some breakside flow. Beck Cartman again in there, throwing in another assist. She's been on the scoreboard every time we turn around, it feels like. see the replay. Yep, break side throw, weak mark. Hartman, great grab. And who is that capping the point there? Can you see?
I think it is Amanda, but I'm not going to confirm whether it's Parker or Hutto because I'm not too sure.
Okay. GWS commanding lead early, but haven't been the most convincing, have they?
No, they definitely were a bit jittery at the start. They were only up 3-2, but now they seem to get into the form.
This pull, very high release, came out about chest height. Oh, that's a run through D. That's some pretty good defense. That disc is going to float and sit up. Oh, that one's not. It's going to go straight in the ground. Boz is going to pick it up, go inside out. See if we can't get there.
Yeah, I think they're really trying to make quick plays this point before the defense are able to set up both teams.
GWS are going to move into a vertical. Nice around into the break side space. Deep throw. Unfortunately, not going to hit the receiver. A bit of a coming together of the defender. Bozza. Near sideline. A bit of a size mismatch there. Courtney on the mark. Oh, nice under throw. Too close though. Courtney going to get the disc and throw it to the break side of the field. There's just motion everywhere. Nice bid. Down low, can't catch it, but
it's a good one down.
Encouraging signs. So we'll see Factory fire now, and it's just more of the same. They're struggling to find that offensive option out of the reset. And GWS working to the far side of the field, back to the middle. Nice block.
Monty just wasn't able to hold on to that. Heather Bozza picking up again.
She's been carrying the load on offense, hasn't she, really? Goes, tries to go dominator movement, but there's a call on the stack. Looks like a pick. If I've got my arm signals correct. Did you have to learn the arm signals for 2015s?
Our team definitely did know it, but a few of the other countries I think hadn't really adopted it quite yet. So it was mainly our team who did the signals. A lot of them were very good at it.
Were or weren't?
Oh, were.
Were very
good at it.
Oh, that disc looked like it got hand blocked.
Hannah Monty, I think, got arms on that.
Okay, so GWS again. Breaks, and there's Monty with the bookends. She's having a good time out there. That makes it 8-2. That's half time. Very straightforward half for GWS. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break here at halftime. We'll be back with more coverage of Eastern Regionals, the ladies' pools, Factory Fire playing Greater Western Sydney. And we'll see you very shortly. We're back after half-time. GWS playing Factory Fire, one of the development squads for the Factory Ultimate Club out of Canberra. Factory, of course, having ACT in the name.
Oh, I didn't even realise that.
You're winding me up, Sam. You're winding me up.
Now makes sense, actually.
Oh,
Well, Fishwick is named after a suburb, so that makes sense.
Are you telling me that there's a suburb in Canberra called Factory?
If only. That's why I was confused about the name.
Well, I'm great. I'm very glad we could have resolved that for you, Sam, considering you're living here now. Turnover for Factory Fire. Not able to find the receiver. Now, you had a quick chat to some of the teams out there?
Yep, listening in on Factory Fire's huddle. They're really happy with how they're going. This is their first tournament playing together as a team. And for some of them, it's their first tournament altogether for a lot of the development players.
Well, welcome to Ultimate.
Yep, so they just, I think, want to build up the sideline, get a bit more vocal, be a bit more louder on the field.
Okay, so GWS now on offense. Amanda, she's going to air it out. 3 receivers around it. None of them can close it and secure the disc. So the turnover results. Factory Fire now working back the opposite way. Nice inside-out break. Forehand down the strong side of the field.
They were looking to try and utilise their breakthrows a lot more as well. I think they understood that their space was there. They just need to look out for it a bit more.
Well, GWS get this one back. Ooh. That's a phenomenal catch there. Amanda looks, throws down the field. Oh, airing it out now. Receiver with lots of space in the end zone.
Beautiful grab by Christy Jane. And it's KJ. She's played on Rogue as well and came over to GWS after playing Hills with a lot of these players.
There's a few Hills players out there. Couple of Hills names. So GWS ended up with some of the talent from Hills.
I think Hills are kind of focusing on Div 2, and when I think they want to commit to a Division 1 team, the natural progression is playing for GWS. A lot of these GWS girls actually play Hills League in a mixed team.
Okay. So the pathway for development is there.
Definitely.
Interesting to see how things like this grow and develop and change. I was at one of the very first Hills Hoist hat leagues, or hat tournaments, out in the west of Sydney there. Great day. Who was that organised by? I reckon Simon Wood was TD on that day, I think. Great day.
Yeah, and I
Loads
think
of fun.
they still try and host it every year if there are teams involved as well.
The Hills Hoist, that is.
Yeah.
That was a great hat tournament. That was very early on in my playing days. Great fun. So first real major tournament for some of the Factory Fire girls. What a baptism this is to play against GWS, who came 4th last year, is that right?
They did come 4th last year.
So they're being introduced, well, they've been kind of kicked into the deep end. But it's only going to make them better.
Exactly. I think the exposure to the teams who obviously are performing at a very high level, the development teams, are always good for those development teams to understand how a lot of these teams operate. Very clinical, low turnover.
So a little bit of a poachy zone looking thing from GWS. It results in the turn after it goes through the hands of one of the Factory Fire girls. And now it's GWS on offense. Carmen comes off the front of the stack. She gets looked off, falls to the ground. Factory Fire get it back. And again, it's a bit of a zone looking thing for GWS. They're maybe looking to slow up some of these passes and show a different look, but Factory Fire showing no difficulty until that last throw.
They got maybe a bit too happy with their flow.
Did that ever happen to you? Get a bit excited? You think, oh, I got that throw?
Always, and I think especially when you're starting out playing, you catch a disc, you're excited to throw it again. You don't really think that you need to stop and wait a few seconds for the rest of the team to catch up.
10 stalls is a very long time. Nice inside-out throw. Monty is going to catch that one. Throws nice, flat-looking forehand. Ooh, popped up there for a moment. Falls to turf, though. And Factory Fire now back on offense. Nice around, outside-in forehand. Loads of space over there. Loads of room, but everything just tightens down, and GWS get the disc back. Nice throw, Monty, to space to Cartman. Goes backhand, very nice looking inside out. Just that Cartman.
Too easy.
She makes it look easy, doesn't she?
She does.
She's been working in kind of that power receiver role, looking to get the disc and then throw the goal. Very good to see a player like that. She gives us a lot of examples of what a good Frisbee player looks like. And we're back live. 10-2 the score. GWS, after that 3-2 scoreline early, they've now really stepped on the gas. Started to get away from the Factory Fire girls. Now at halftime, did you have a chance to hear what GWS were thinking and planning?
I didn't really hear much, but I do know that they are trying to keep up the momentum that they've had coming out of a half. It's obviously tempting that Factory Fire are going to try a bit harder, but just make sure they keep up that momentum that they've had throughout the whole game.
Nice throw in the middle of the cup there. Bozza. She's got a very good looking forehand and backs it up with a hammer. Nice grab. And Factory Fire, they're deep in the red zone now. Bozza. She's led the way so far. Airs out a hammer. Amanda can't quite get a block, but does enough. Puts the pressure on. It falls to the ground. GWS get the turn. And they'll be coming in with the disc in the middle of the field on the end zone line. 60 metres to go. Nice throw into space to Courtney there. He goes down the field. Cartman. Again, nice flow from GWS. Well-timed cuts. Finding the space at the right time. Amanda. Open side power play. Doesn't play out. Back to the break side. GWS using the width of the field. First the open side, then the break side. The throw into the end zone. Hannah Monty. I mean, that wasn't her disc, but
she got there.
I don't think the thrower will argue with her taking that one.
Yeah,
just airing it out too much.
Yeah, they're really looking for their open, easy open options all the way down the field. They know they have the throws. It's now just finding the player.
When women of good skill play well, they make it look easy. Very straightforward. You can see what they're wanting to do. Just work it to open players. This throw was just floated a little bit, you know. So back edge of the disc, it was inside out a little bit. That's what lifted it. So it looks like we've got a timeout. So we'll take a quick break here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back live momentarily. We're back after half. No, it wasn't half time. It was just a timeout. 11-2 in the game.
I think Factory Fire looking to regroup, refocus after GWS have come out really strong at halftime.
It was a pretty clear message though at half, though, wasn't it, from the coaches of Factory Fire? They were pretty happy, weren't they?
It was just trying to make sure that the spirit is there. Obviously, some of these girls have never played a tournament, let alone against such a high caliber team. They want them to come back to training next week, really.
I think there's a lot of positives for these girls. It's very much a baptism by fire. They're in the deep end. against one of the top 4 teams in Australia. I don't think that can be overstated. Factory Fire, and they're finding a little bit. It's not all one-way traffic at the moment. The scoreboard, whilst fairly one-sided, you know, it doesn't really reflect the fact that Factory Fire have had some opportunities. They're getting their share of the disc. They're getting some turnovers.
It's just the execution error right at the end. They know what they want to do.
And that's really endemic of the fact that you've got some really young players who've never played Frisbee before, really, or have been at training, but, you know, this is their first major tournament. They're very much in on the deep end. That throw just a little bit too far. Hanamonte, lets that one rip, puts it too far. It's going to be a GWS zone again. They're running the zone to try and get a cheap turnover by the looks of it. Looks to be a line trap Pommy. 1-3-2-1. And there's a throw into space. Deed by the wing on the far side. So GWS will get this one back. The zone works in that case.
Yeah. GWS's zone is looking very strong at the moment.
Oh, what a block.
Nice grab by Rachel Joyce.
Joyce heads up played, reaches out and grabs that one. She gets the Frisbee back. Joyce comes to this near sideline. Throw down the break side. Defender cuts it off, gets underneath that one. And now GWS are away. It's Monty with the dish. She's going to air it out. Oh, goes deep. See Amanda. She was just gesturing calm. Calm, slow down. Take a breath.
Don't think she was ready for the shotgun.
Oh, Monty, she just let that go. Absolutely ripped it. And Factory Fire getting the disc back. So saying they're getting some turns here, Sam.
Yeah, they're doing really well at this point. They've come back refocused. They seem to know what their aim for this point is.
It's a little bit rough working upwind against a line trap zone from one of the top 4 teams in the country, though. So this is definitely a rough time for them, and
they're really trapped on the sideline as well, struggling to get it off almost.
This is the thing I don't understand about Ultimate in Australia. Why do teams, Sam, tell me, why do teams insist on throwing the disc to a sideline when the zone is a sideline trap?
It's so they think they can get that outside in, really.
Go around the edge of the cup.
If they can't break
Except
them,
you've got a wing out there who's stopping that exact throw.
Well, the ideal is the wing is a bit in front of their player, so they can try and, if they're got pinpoint precision, can throw around that wing to their player. But I think that's a very low percentage completion rate.
House party win!
So GWS on defense again. They are looking good.
They are.
Positive signs for their season.
They're definitely trying to beat their score, their standings from last season.
So Bozza is going to have this one. Not really much coming. Inside out throw into space. Very nice look there. Near side. Bozza again into space. She's been a rock for this offense.
That was a beautiful throw, just out of reach there.
Yeah, the wind maybe taking a little bit there, and see, I'll have another look at it. See if it's there. So that away, that leading forehand, terribly hard throw to make. Exceedingly hard.
It was one of our favourite plays during Women's League. I can confirm that. Getting that leading throw, getting that dishy back.
Yep. GWS, they get the frisbee and an opportunity. Courtney. The reason I'm calling her Courtney, by the way, is because I'm not sure of her last name, because I know she got married there somewhere. So I'm just sticking with the part I know. This is going to fall to the ground again. Factory Fire are going to get it back, get another opportunity. Boz is going to be the one picking it up. As I was saying, she's been a rock for this offense. Been doing her more than her fair share of heavy lifting. Another great pass, a good layout. That looks like a turn. Oh, there's a throw. And that's Hannah Monty in the end zone again.
Got those sticky fingers.
She was eating some red frogs, I think. Fun times, fun times. Henry looks broken as. He's very broken, he says.
Showed me an x-ray with a few too many nails in his fingers.
That's not good. That's not good at all. Throwing hand as well for Henry.
Yeah.
He right-handed? He's right-handed,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he's right-handed.
So I have no idea what the score is. I'm going to go with 13-2 and hope that that's right. So GWS, they're on defense as they have been pretty much this entire game. It was 2 points, and early that was about it. Factory Fire, they're still on offense, still looking for that next score of theirs.
Good to see that Factory Fire still mixing up their line with both experienced players as well as a few new players who may not have had as much experience as the others.
Well, that is kind of the point of this team, isn't it? They're trying to develop these new players. And, you know, out there on this Factory Fire team, there's probably at least 1 or 2 women who will one day move into the Factory A side and be key members of that team.
Definitely.
And it's all from the work that the Factory Fire team are doing here that's going to become the case. Nice block there in the middle, GWS. They'll go back onto offense. Factory had a bit of a lull there through the early 2010s. You know, they kind of went off the boil. They went missing a little bit from the national scene, but it's great to see them back and a force to be reckoned with.
Definitely. I think especially between the 2016 and 2017 season, they got a lot of younger players coming through, mainly from the under-22s competitions. And a lot of those players are now key players on the team, like Abby Dawson, Maya Suzuki, Caitlin Granger. They're all played Blue Bottles as well in January, and now they're key players on Factory.
It's great to see the fact the ACT women back in the limelight. There was a long time there in the early 2010s where they were one of the best teams. They kind of went missing for a little bit, but now they're back. And that can only be a good thing for Ultimate in Australia overall. So Factory Fire on offense again. Another zone thing from GWS. That's a speculative disc. It's up in the air. Oh, nice throw to the sideline. It's just going to just drift out of bounds. Right idea, though, finding that space, just not able to get the throw to get there.
Definitely, that was a good grab by Rachel Joyce, trying to stop the Callahan.
Have you ever caught a Callahan, Sam?
I sure did. To be honest, my first international point was a Callahan that I scored.
No way.
Against New Zealand.
That's awesome.
Way back when.
That is brilliant. Over my 11-odd year playing career, one Callahan. Then a random match one day. I reckon it was a tournament. Callahan's like the golden goose.
It is.
Got to be in the right place at the right time sometimes. And other times you just need a little bit of luck to go your way.
It's often during those zone points where you can, that's the prime time to get that Callahan.
So you're speedy. You're normally called as the point then? Or one
I
of
think
the points?
that game must have been.
Yeah.
Don't know how often it has been. It's happened since.
So this could be match point here. GWS are on defense, but if they get the turn and they punch it in, that'll be game. Potential for 15-2.
Factory Fire will definitely be looking to try and score one now, so they can get one up on the board this half.
GWS probably looking to finish this one early, you would say, you know, get a bit more of a break, gear themselves up for the challenges that are going to come tomorrow as the tournament winds down to the pointy end of things.
Definitely, and it is hot out. It is definitely nearing the high 20s, 30s.
So Bozza catches this one on the full. Nice movement. Near sideline. The Cut's still struggling to find separation from the defenders. Throw inside. Bozza is not going to be able to get that one. And GWS there, Frisbee now. Saikato picking up the disc. Just going to go sideways, try and create some lateral movement. There's a throw back to the fat side. Ooh.
Just out of reach.
Sharp chance. Nothing wrong with that throwing option. The receiver nearly reels it in.
Factory Fire now getting another chance to work it down the field.
Bozza has shown herself to be very, very reliable with that disc. See another big break throw. That break throw is 30 yards to the break side of the field. That's phenomenal. Be able to do that reliably is not common. GWS with possession again on the far sideline. They're finding the space and they're finding some movement. And to the break side, nothing coming. So they go back open side, and that's in for the point and the goal. And I believe that is 15-2.
That is game.
That is game. Sam, your closing thoughts for this match?
I think GWS are looking really strong this season. They seem to have very few clinical errors. And hopefully Factory Fire take this game and look back and try and take some good things out of it so they can continue their development season for Div 2 Nationals.
Because it's not really the score that was important for Factory Fire here, is it?
It's building those connections, I think. This is the first time they're playing against other non-factory teams. It's day one, we're just halfway through the day, so I think it can only go up from here as they look to build those connections between the players.
And the experience, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here in the women's pools. GWS take this one over Factory Fire, 15-2 in the end. We'll be back later with some men's games. We've got a men's match next, and then a women's match to finish up day one of Eastern Regionals here in Canberra ACT. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again very shortly.
ERUC.TV.